Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome to Cosa Nostra Radio. We're a family of poets from around the world who love to get together and share our love of verse. All are welcome here. The call-in number is 929 477 3951. 929 477 3951. Of course, we ask that you be respectful and cordial to all guests and poets. Let everyone speak, and please don't interrupt. Everyone will get a chance to speak. We treat others here the way that we would expect to be treated. Also, I'd like to mention not all the views and opinions of the guests on the show are reflective of the ownership and management of La Cosa Nostra Radio and are of their own free will. We all believe in freedom of speech and respect for all people. Feedback and conversation are encouraged. Thank you for joining us and enjoy this La Cosa Nostra program.
Hello, viewers, audience members, listeners out there on the web or on replay. It's another edition of Public Poetry. We're down October 23rd, 7 more days until Halloween. Who's going to bring out this year your trick-or-treats? So let me see if there's any treat for me. Would my co-host be there? Boo.
Trick-or-treat.
Trick-or-treat, Boo.
Which do you want, a trick or a treat, Razz?
I think I'd prefer the treat.
I figured as much. Anything in particular? Or I shouldn't even ask that. I probably never.
I can handle so much candy, and I no longer have any sweet teeth.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, you know what happened to me today? Like, all of a sudden, this, like, piece of my tooth just fell out. And I was like, oh, shit. And it looks horrible. And, you know, dentists are expensive. So.
Yeah, I think you want to save that little piece, you know.
Yeah, might want to save it.
For the tooth fairy.
The tooth fairy, yeah. I wish he'd come bring me something good, too. Maybe we're both in the need. We're both in the need for some sweets.
You're all the sweets I can stand, Boo.
Yeah. That depends who you ask, Razz. But thanks. So, here we are again. Ready to roll?
I must like my duck sauce bitter sour. Let's see who else is on the phone. Hello.
Hello?
You've been unmuted. Are you there?
Who is this?
Yeah. This is Dave Prophet.
Hey, Dave.
Hey.
Boo. Hi, Razz.
Good
Hi,
to have
everybody.
you here.
I got my good phone tonight, so I can actually hear. There's a first. Anyway, thanks for coming.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Always enjoy you guys. You're always fun.
I hope you come next
Sunday.
It's going to be our anniversary next Sunday. 4 years. Yeah.
Wow.
There's a contest up, and there's a writing prompt to put up too later. But it's going to be 4 years. Isn't that amazing? That's pretty cool. So.
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah.
Rose from the ashes despite bullshit. So fuck you, fuckers. You know what I mean? So anyway.
Yeah, I do know.
You can't keep a strong group down that are really, truly know what friendship is, and many people don't, sadly. But that didn't stop us.
Yeah, that's right.
That didn't stop us, right?
That's right.
Got rid of a few, but
that's
right. So they probably, weren't really worth it anyway. So anyway, go ahead, Rez. Sorry.
No, you're worth every last drop, and true friendships they last. I would agree with you there. Dave, how have you been lately?
What's that?
How are you, Dave?
How have you been lately, Dave?
Oh, I'm okay, I guess. Just
very convinced, Dave.
I know. I know. I don't sound too convincing today. Oh, screw it. It's just, I'm still upright and walking around and breathing, so I'm okay.
Yeah, you're all right by me, Dave. Anyway.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I've had a bad weekend.
You can only be so careful. The COVID virus has a whole new strain. It's now at BQ. So I don't know if that's like a way of being sarcastic, like the barbecue being the virus.
I don't even give a shit
about
COVID and they make this bullshit that they tell us.
On the planet, yeah.
Yeah. Another strain, another day, another dollar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bring it. I'm not scared of COVID. Fuck COVID.
Yeah, really.
Everybody's talking about COVID yesterday.
Paranoia created in a petri dish, you know what I mean? Get the fuck out of here. COVID, blow me. Anyway, I'm in a spicy mood, fellas, so sorry. I'm going to go on mute now.
It'll become one of those millennial traditional things we'll joke about years later, like Y2K.
Yeah, right. Like, Y2, who cares? You know, like I said, paranoia created a petri dish. I mean, come on, you know, it's nothing but a moneymaker.
Yeah.
And it's
shit.
not bad. It's not a death sentence like we're expected to believe. Why do you think there's new strains? Because it's a moneymaker. How do I know? Because I'm getting raped on my products that I keep having to order for the business, you know?
Yeah.
Like just a case of like, you know, syringes used to be, you know, somewhere around $38 is now at $120. Just for one example.
Yeah. Mhm.
And you know they know that you need it, so nothing you can do about it. Like the gas prices, we need to drive, right? So
yep.
Over here they're almost $6 a gallon for gas. A rip off.
Yeah, well that
the price
we're
went
about
up to $8 there.
$5.50.
$5.50. Yeah, it's like damn, I don't even want to go anywhere, you know. But I haven't seen them past $4 in forever. You know, we're constantly getting raped.
Been more popular.
You know, we're constantly getting raped, but if we don't stand up for it, then we're never going to get through it. So, you know, grow some balls, America.
Yeah, really. No shit.
Yeah, Howard's turn for president, 2024.
Yeah. And what's that shit about? Like, never mind. I'm not even going to. Never mind. I could open a whole another show, so I will keep that alone right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Imagine all the people that that
here, boo.
walk the walk. How many you would have lined up compared to those who walk the walk, right? You know.
Yep.
I'm on my mission. I had too much caffeine, so I'm probably hyper. But it's true, you know. How many people walk away at the first time anything goes wrong? I got you, girl. I got you. I got your back. This little ripple, they're out of there, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, cheap, you know.
Yeah, hell yeah, it is. Yeah. And I'm sorry, but I'm cashed out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seriously. The whole thing with the whole situation really like pissed me off, saddened me, opened my eyes. I opened my eyes for a lot of it too, you know, but it's like, you know, it never seems to end, like fakeness. So.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't like me, just say you don't like me. That's cool with me. You know? You don't got to read my poetry.
Who
You
wouldn't want you, boo?
You know?
You seem so, I don't know, frustrated of losing people.
Frustrated today. I am. I've had a rough weekend. It's true. You know, my frustration lies with I can't do everything. I don't have 10 hands. I don't have 10 feet. You know what I mean? So, like, someone needs to step up, or just, I'm not Superwoman. And then when it isn't done, or I miss one thing, it's like, what about all the 20 things you did right? But everybody always remembers the one, right, that you did wrong, something you did wrong. Not that I did anything wrong, because I didn't. But, you know, I don't know, people need to wake up. What about some other people? You know what? Other people, I'll shut up after this, but other people don't realize that other people need self-care. They overlook it. Right? And they're like, oh, you're doing so. They get it, but they don't want to tell you to take a day off. Or how can I help? Lend a hand? Something. That wasn't how I was raised.
Yeah.
But apparently some haven't gotten the memo. Right? Just bitching and complaining.
Yeah, I was
here's an idea. I told this chick in my work. They're all bitching and complaining about this chick who has she just broke her leg. She's with a cast trying to work. And they're like, she's so slow. I'm like, Jesus Christ, here's an idea. How about bitching about her? How about if you offer a hand? Why don't you lend a hand?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a fucking idea.
No shit. How about me breaking your leg? And let's see how well you get around with a fucking leg.
On being a floor nurse on the floor. You know what I mean? Like, come on. It's just hard already. It's even totally in great health. It's rough. So, you know, and she didn't even have to come back. She came back to help. So how about thinking about that, you selfish whores? You know?
Yeah, no shit.
Really? This is a whole other subject, but I'm just saying, it's so frustrating. You know, especially with women. Women are just so catty. I hate it. We have this policy. We had this thing at my work where we called it, and it sounds ridiculous, but it actually worked, and it was called Talk to the Palm, right? So basically, if someone comes up to you and they go, hey, have you heard? You just put your palm up and you go, hey, I don't want to hear it. And it sounds so stupid, but I would see people doing it all around, all day, every day. And the rumors cut down, the gossip cut down, the animosity, the hatred. I mean, it was amazing how, like, it worked, right? So something simple like, yeah. My mom used to say, I'm from Missouri, the show me state. I ain't buying shit till I see it with my own eyes. You know?
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that all in someone's palm?
Yeah, yeah. You know? Or something, detrimental. I've seen this recently too. Something detrimental that could ruin someone's, not just their whatever, but their reputations, their world, their livelihood, their kids, That shit ain't funny. That shit ain't funny at all.
It ain't funny at all.
No. And you're messing with, unless you know for a fact, you got some evidence. I don't even want to see it, talking about someone's livelihood here and their kids. Don't fuck with my kid, because you will be leaving in a body bag. That is, that's what my friend said. She goes, don't fuck my man, money, or my child. I'm oh, what's that say? Wait, one more thing. Have you guys heard that expression? Something like, I don't know exactly how it goes, but it says something like, if you're not fucking me or financing me, then you have no reason to tell me shit. Something like that. But anyway, good one. I don't know if you heard it. Apparently not. But I'm gonna have to get
T-shirts you're looking at during the fair.
Razz, that's all you wearing it. No, just kidding. All right, I'm gonna shut up.
No one's supposed to know about that, boo. But we have a couple of callers in the studio, and Rack, it's great to have you here again, buddy.
I'm sure Rack has an opinion on this. He probably remembers.
Friends, countrymen, lend me your ear.
Do you know the quote, Rack? Not fucking me or financing me. Basically,
yeah,
shut the hell up.
I heard. I the best I could do is paraphrase it like you did, but yeah, you got the guts of it. If you ain't paying my bills or doing whatever, then you got no right to say shit. That's rooted in responsibility, I guess. I don't owe you nothing. You don't owe me nothing. You're not involved. Mind your own business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're paying my bills, don't be saying shit. I mean, yeah, I feel you. I agree. Who's the next caller, Razz?
Yeah, and there's, I believe that would be Liquid. See if I'm lucky on the guest here.
Hey,
Hi,
Linda.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi, everybody. I'm
Hey,
good.
how's
How
it
are
going?
you, Boo?
So, Linda, I sent you the link to get in because I know you were having a hard time on the other thing, getting in.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to tell you that so you didn't think I forgot you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Raz.
Whoa. Rack, what about you? How have you been doing? Trick or treat?
Boo.
You want a trick or a treat, Rack?
I like tricks.
I bet you do.
Anything new in your life, second trick?
Yeah. No. Just trying to diffuse my mind before it blows.
Enjoying the
Mine's already blown up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fuck it at this point.
Count the number of poems. Go in your catalog and count the number of poems that talk about bits and pieces. That's where they came from. Everything blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shrapnel.
All those precepts. Went a little bit. Yeah, take Huxley's peripherals.
As a matter of fact, that's a good idea. That's what I'm going to give out for Halloween. The bits and pieces of my blown up self.
Can I have a wing? Can I have a wing?
Can you have a wing?
We're going to have to throw that in the
only
process
two.
and have it remagnified.
You want the left wing or the right wing?
I'll take That's whatever one you want to give, I'll take. Personally, I like the white meat, but, wings got to be worth something.
Don't tell me the vampire side, you.
Razz will tell you about left-wing conspiracies and right-wing conspiracies.
For days. No thanks.
But there's
Get
one
enough of
kind
that
that
already.
I've not heard yet.
There's a specific reference that I'm never very clear on, which is right wing and which is left wing. It's just they're different poles.
I don't know either. You would think I would because I hear about it a lot too. I just kind of tune out when it comes to that.
We'll throw that expression around: left wing conspiracy, right wing conspiracy.
So I don't know.
Yeah, you know,
I have no idea.
that's to do with Democrats and the Republicans. So left is the Democrat, right is the Republican.
Oh, is that it? Democrat and Republican?
Hey, I got a
Code
question.
there for watching political talk news, yeah.
Hey, listen, I got a question. You said trick or treat, right? So you guys got to tell me real quick off the top of your head, and then we'll move on. What would blow your mind to see as a trick? Anybody got anything? What would be the coolest trick ever? Like if you could see it.
Oh, no. You're thinking like unfortunate. You know, you tell someone trick, and you know you think you're going to get over on them, and then they have a prosthetic nose or something, and they just take it off and go.
The greatest trick ever, I would say, bringing David Bowie back from the dead.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That might be a treat. Yeah, that might be a treat more than a trick. It depends on if he still could sing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was going to say.
I'd be finding Elvis somewhere.
Yeah, I wanted that whole Black Star tour.
Linda, you got anything?
I'm thinking, you know, there's just so many things that I could come up with that my brain is jarbled. I would like to see somebody sever their head and then put it back on. That would be cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep.
I'd like to find Jimmy Hoffa. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, there you go.
What about you, Dave?
So would the CIA and the FBI.
Oh, Dave's like a regular normal fucking chick somewhere on this planet.
Yeah, that's right. That would be the biggest trick to me is to find some gal that's got her head screwed on straight, you know? But
yeah, exactly. And she puts out.
Yeah, really. Yep. I'm horny, David. I'm horny.
YMCA.
You know, Dave. You know, when you want to talk about a woman with her head screwed on, if it's screwed on, you can keep twisting it until it's straight. So.
Yeah.
It's cross-threaded most of the time. Yeah.
Well, Dave, you know what? We're going to all be dead before that trick ever comes true. So I'm sorry to inform you, and that one's going to have to go.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
My sister has this nightgown, and it says on the front, "Define normal."
Yeah. Well,
her not wearing the nightgown.
Dark mother keeps me hot there most of the time.
So with your shit, I love you. We'll settle for that. Okay, Razz, I'm shutting up.
No, I thought you were asking the questions here. We had everyone answer them.
Everybody answered. Did I miss yours?
Yeah, and Liquid, do you have anything?
Yes, she said cut off somebody's head, put it back on.
Before we go to the recital?
Yeah, I'd like to see, you know how people remove their finger and then put it, you know, they slide their finger
my dad
and it looks like their finger's coming off. I want to see somebody do that with their head. Yeah. That would be pretty cool.
You need a big thumb for that,
Linda. That would be a great trick. What's that?
I said you need a big thumb for that trick, you know.
Yeah.
My dad does that trick. We used to laugh at that one so much. I don't know how he does it, but I still don't know how he does it. But
out of here.
My dad used to do it really well too.
You know what? Believe it or not, I used to date this magician for real, and they take this shit way serious. I don't know if you guys knew this.
Yeah, magician never reveals his secrets.
Yeah, it's interesting.
We have another caller in the studio. Let's see who's there.
It's just like ice cream, man. It gets rattled in the middle. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey, guys and guys. I apologize.
Is that Zappa? Hey, Zappa.
Hello.
Hi, Zappa.
Zappa.
How are you?
Hey,
How's your team? Cool.
Yep.
Hey, Okay, so Zappa, we're going to ask you the question. What would be the greatest trick you could ever see if you could have see anything? What would you like to see? I know your answer is going to be good, too.
The government artist to draw a perfect circle. I'd love to see an artist draw a perfect circle. Cool.
There you go.
Without the help of a compass, you mean? Because, anyone can draw a perfect circle.
Right.
I used to be able to do that. My hands are too shaky now, but I used to be able to do that. And draw a straight line.
Oh, I wish I could draw a straight line thing.
And measure out increments of like 1 inch and centimeters.
No, I can't hardly write my name anymore.
I wish I could walk a straight line.
Poor David.
I guess we should get started
So
there.
here, I guess.
For Adam, but
start
he'll
up
be
the
later.
poetry. David, would you like to go first?
What was that? Did you say David?
Would you like to go first? Yeah.
He's calling on the Dark Mother.
Sure. Okay.
Are you ready? Okay. Your link's on the board, Mr. Prophet.
Okay. I call this one the Spark, and I was just sitting in my chair the other day thinking about my friends and some of them that I really miss that are dead now, and so I just wrote this one up, and it goes like this. The spark that starts life's projector, rewind, replay all those fleeting smiles, memories of past faces the heart clutches so tightly will never let go. The spark that binds one soul to another, fusion on a human level, has no sexual preference. Now gilded in indigo inside a perimeter of gold comes the spark time and again. The intermission in our consciousness, my friend's smiling face, eyes closed as we played on into the early morning hours, guitar strings taking bits and pieces of us, bits and pieces of 8 fingers that talk to 6 steely strings. 8 equals 6. To this discipline of musical mathematics, the 2 fingers now imaginary, notes in friendship floating sublime into entropy, fading into information swallowed up by some distant black hole but never lost. Like the spark always returns to its maker, brings tears to our eyes, other times smile and laughter. I am lucky to have lots of sparks. They visit me on a daily basis. Some folks only have one. Sometimes the spark loses its way back to them. They become invisible to the spark, camouflaged by greed, painted with lies, or perhaps no longer wants any part of its maker. One or the other, methinks. I miss all my smiling friends that have passed me by on the way to the hereafter. Well, what would we be doing today? Playing to the early morning hours. So our fingers fled, and way too many laughs looking into my friend's eyes at all the good-natured mistakes as he laughs it all off. The spark will always return. He keeps it alive from where he is. Angelic Gentry has shown him how. You shan't forget your friend, for he is thinking of you. His spark to thee. The spark is what keeps me picking the guitar back up. It's what keeps me playing. It reminds me of you. Dedicated to my friend Ron Taylor and Fred Thomas, 2 most excellent guitarists, and I have played my fingers to the bone with them on any Saturday night. And to one of my most cherished and loved ladies of verse, Miss Little Boo. Such a beautiful spark, she just goes on and on. End poem.
Yes, I'm feeling what you're saying here, how the spark generates inspiration in performance arts. So you have what there is of what could be considered a mediocre work compared to one that has spark, in which that inspiration proves it's on a higher level than your typical form of thinking, at near performance, at least the next classical standard. Thank you, Mr. Dave Prophet. What's your say on this, Rack?
That's a great idea, Dave. I like that idea because, you know, I like to break things down into cause and effect and processes and whatnot. You know, everything to me is kind of about perspective and understanding. And when you talk about a spark, you know, that's the initial thing when you have like combustion. So and when it's engine and that's what makes things go. It's the root of a lot of different things. You know, fanning a spark into a flame. It's the beginning of something, and that's beautiful when you talk about your friends like that, because you know it is an ever-changing thing. When you're friends with somebody, you bring different things out each other every day, and it sparks different thoughts, and it goes in different directions. You never know what's really going to happen, and sometimes it is more intense than others, but there's always that little spark that you breathe to life, and that's the essence, I think, of what you're talking about is you know the life that you find from that spark, the spark of life, even as an expression. It's a wonderful jumping off point for everything that you said. You did a great job with that.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yes, keep that beat going on in the whale. And what's your take on this, Liquid?
Well, I thought it was beautiful, David. It was very warm and celestial. I love the spark metaphor and how deeply you respect the music and your friends. Because I too understand we're all born with that spark. We're all electrical impulses, and as we go through life and meet people on the same frequency our sparks connect. And the way you wrote this about your friend, how you connected over the music, is really cool.
Thank you.
Binds one soul to another. Fusion on a human level has no sexual preference. I love that verse because, our sparks don't have any sexual preference. They just, you know, they're looking for the same frequency, basically. And this is a beautiful poem, beautifully written, and I love the color that it brought out, the blue and the gold, the indigo. Very, very cool. Thank you for sharing it, David.
Hey, Linda.
Well, thanks for second.
The picture that you used is really cool, too. I love that.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's definitely a bit of a kind of philosophical wisdom there. If sexual intercourse has no real discourse, I thought that line was definitely a highlight too. What about you, Zappa? What do you think of this by Dave Prophet?
What will we be doing today? Playing to the morning hours till our fingers bled. It brings me a jam session. You know, I remember. Oh my God, you guys! Pardon me for not personalizing this or anything. Anything like that. Just a jam session that I attended one time. It was really wicked because it's really, really good friends. Anyways, you know, after we had a great time, I remember cream de mint. Got really sick drunk on it. Next morning we cut cattle. So it's something I really didn't expect. I just thought we were going to go to a jam session, and we ended up cutting cattle the next day. Anyways,
interesting take on the piece, Zappa. If shadows will all get together and have their own orchestra band, and so that takes the commenting over to you, Boo.
Well, you know, this week's of obviously like love and missing and true friendship, but the other thing is, for me, is that you're not afraid to show it, your friendship, your love, your admiration, and you give people that you care about respect and props all the time, because I know, because you do it to me all the time, and it's a lot of people aren't that aren't that loving. They don't want to wear their heart on their sleeve. They don't want to say how much you mean to me. And then by that point, a lot of times it's too late, you know. And you're fucking loyal as hell. You're very loyal, and that's really hard to find these days. Which I appreciate, you know. You stick with something, you stick with it, you know, and that's an awesome trait in my opinion. And about the spark, you know, spark that binds one soul to another, fusion on a human level, has no sex. Everybody keeps going to that line because it's true. It doesn't have a sex or an agenda or a race or whatever. And sometimes you're just connected to people, and you just are. And I can hear the warmth here and how much you miss your friends, and I think it's lovely. Thank you so much for putting me in there too. I like that's cute too.
Oh. Absolutely. I couldn't do it without putting something in there about you, Boo. One of my favorite females.
Oh, thank you. Time. That means beautiful.
That reminds me every time I hear these dedications to you, Boo, of that piece of Legend of Boo. Was Rack who did that
I
one
love that
again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like our Kung Fu Panda, all in one with the hot nurse. Zappa, would you like to take up the floor now, sir?
Did Rack comment on Dave? I think he did. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Zappa.
What's up?
Yeah, we have a place for you on the floor to go up next. First, I'm going to try to get this caller. I think it might be Corey. Is that you, Corey? We have the connection this time?
Hello? Okay, maybe not.
Corey. Yeah, it's Corey, but we're not in the same time zone, so he's not coming through in the studio.
Oh, maybe he'll
be with the chat board Twitch talk. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
You got Zappa,
are you ready to repeat your poem?
Yeah. Oh, what did I post?
Yeah, I'll put the link for you. Saline and Sunshine.
Oh, this is an older one. Oh, it's my eyeball. Oh my God. Saline and Sunshine. Because this is kind of like weird E. Cummins bullshit, but anyways. Once I was years away. Some fragment of time that I lost deep in a gulp of air. Just before I dove. Deeper than my eyes could stand. Not caring, but praying in depth of frail hope. A hard cider sigh. I did so hope that I'd be able to breathe again. And a poem.
But, you know, it
so good with the brevity, kicking the balls.
Sentiment in those few words. There's one thing I've learned about intelligence, and it has to contain sentience, and this had all of the above. Thank you, sir. I heard an awe there from Rack. Would you like to comment on Zappa?
Yeah, I was like, I wanted more, you know. That's why I was awing, you know. You can lead a man to knowledge, but you can't make him think. And you know, you kind of beat me up a little bit with that. I was trying to dig in, and then you stopped. I wanted more.
You could call you a poetic cock tease right there, Zappa.
Thank you.
Well, you know, I'm a little different, Zappa. I can't see, so I got to process it as I'm hearing it, and it takes a little bit sometimes. Sorry.
I lost someone very close to me, and it wasn't just that. There was a number of things. It was just wanting to be able to breathe again, being suffocated at the same time. Anyways.
Yeah, I hear you. Thanks.
You had a deep freeze, and now it's warm as Prophet Spark, Zappa. What about your say on this, Dave? Dave.
Sorry about that. talking to my mute button again. Anyway, I like this a lot. I like what Zappa writes. He and I have been friends for a long time, and he never disappoints me when he writes anything. I just think that, you know, this brevity here is pretty outstanding. It has a lot to say, and I can't manage to do that without being verbose. And so, you know, I liked it a lot. You know, deeper than my eyes could stand, I dove. I like that part. And but praying in depth, a frail hope, a hard sight or sigh, I did so hope that I'd be able to breathe again. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool poem. Well done, Zap.
Hey, Dave, don't you think that Zap is underrated? I do, because he doesn't even know how good he is. And you are good.
Yeah, I agree.
You guys stop it. I love y'all.
Don't start blushing, Zappa. We have to take our praise with grace, or then we end up like Kanye West. What about you, Liquid Damage? What's your take on this by Zappa? All right.
Sorry. No, I was saying, let me embarrass you some more, Zappa. This is one of the most beautiful brevities I've ever read. It's so beautifully written, and the feeling is so intense that what it brings out from your heart. It's hard feeling lost, and sometimes it is like drowning. And I love how you put just before I dove deeper than my eyes could stand. Just beautiful. Not caring but praying in depth, a frail hope, a hard sight or sigh. Just beautifully written. Yeah, I think this is one of the most beautiful brevities. And I too was hoping for more. You're a fantastic writer, and you need to start believing that, because when you start believing it, your writing will get even better. And I'm very impressed by this. Thank you for sharing.
Sweetheart, thank you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Those were definitely endearing words, Liquid. I'm sure all the praise is worthy there. And that takes us again over to you, Boo.
Well, like, you know, don't we all need to just breathe sometimes? And then, you know, you're always honest with your feelings every time that you write a poem, you know? And even though it doesn't matter if it's short or long, it doesn't matter. And it always has your vibe with it, your style, which is always sort of quirky, you know, and but intelligent like you are. So, and then he says here, some fragment of time I lost, deep breath and gulp of air, and then I dove deeper than my eyes could stand, like almost like, sort of like when your mom says, like, what is that, your belly's bigger than your eyes or whatever, kind of like that's what you did here to free yourself from it, so you can be free of whatever that is holding you down. I see this pain here and this sadness. But you're trying to get to the other side. Really great job here. I love your writing too.
Well, hell. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's an Adam writes on the board. Quite an amazing piece, really powerful in its brevity. I guess you can throw in there the Periscope. The Yellow Submarine. Yeah, brevities are a short piece of poetry. I'm just saying what Adam wrote on the board, but I wonder if he's going to call in the studio. He's listening right now. So next in line, Liquid. Are you ready to take up the podium?
Sure.
All right.
Why not?
That would be just grand. A needle and pink thread.
Now, due to inflation, it's $5,000.
This is a true story, and it might be hard for some of you to hear, so it's called A Needle and Pink Thread. I came each time you called for help, each time you slit your wrists, each time you took some pills and hoped to die. I came because I loved you. I came because I cared. I came because I needed to know why. I sewed you up a time or two with needle and pink thread. We both agreed that it was chic and quite in style. We laughed at it afterwards when I got you all cleaned up, and then I held you tightly for a while. I held your head in my lap and brushed your hair away so that you could throw up all the pills you ate. You never even thought about what it did to me each time I had to save you from your fate. Then one day you didn't call, you didn't ask my help. I knew you must have ended all the lies. You hung yourself with a tie in my friend's closet, and I never got the chance to say goodbye. But goodbyes are empty rhetoric. It wouldn't change a thing. You'd still be dead, and also I still cry. I never really understood why you did these things. Why is it you helped yourself to die? I know it happened long ago, but I dream about it still. That day I lost a very lovely friend. And now I pray you are at ease, and the angels love you so. So now you're finally happy in the end. In poem.
Oh, yeah, that one was deep and spooky, you know, but it had that element of what you have with Johnny Come to Town. And I think I've heard this before. It was Edward Robinson. I can't precisely name which piece in which it describes what there is of a person who's all but made in society and yet chooses this awful path of suicide. And you gave it that sense of justice that it's one of those things we have to accept because they happen, not so much whether or not we understand completely the tragedy. Thank you very much, Liquid Damage. Rack, would you comment on this, please? Back? You there? What happened to the 5 grams, buddy? Are you all going on mute each right?
That's weird. Maybe he dropped. Did you look?
Hello. Okay, well, Zappa, I hear your voice. What do you say?
I was just thinking, hello. No, seriously, I can relate to this on a personal level. I know it happened long ago, and now I pray you are at ease. I've held your head in my lap and brushed your hair away so that you could throw up all the pills you ate. You know, it's hard to watch, especially ones that are very closest to us, you know. I don't know if this is the truth or not. It's in this poem, one killing themselves, and yet we're there begging and pleading. It's hard. I really feel this on a personal level. It's a beautiful poem. It's a very, very beautiful poem, and it brings great memories.
Yeah,
horrible memories.
We found out afterwards. I went through 7 suicide attempts with her. All were dramatic events that I had to clean up after. And when she finally killed herself, all she did left a note that said, "I quit." But we found out afterwards that she had been used by the government as a call girl to big dignitaries and stuff, and that they had hypnotized her and put a suggestive thing in her about killing herself when she was done with all the work. And so this was just her way. She knew that she didn't want to, but her mind was telling her that it was what she needed to do, and she finally did it, and it came out in a paper what they had done to her and everything. But all her note said was "I quit." So she was done with it, and I was really sad. She was one of the most beautiful people I've ever known, and it was really sad to see what she'd done to herself in a matter of a year. She went from a gorgeous, gorgeous model to this frail, bruised, cut, scarred person. It was very sad.
MK Ultra brainwashing. Wow.
Yeah.
I heard all about that. They implant false memories and the suggestion. It's all part of the same process of hypnotism. I'm sorry that you went through this, Liquid. I hope their soul is at rest, especially near All Hallows Mass. Rack, did you come back
what
yet?
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
I guess that works both ways. What about you, Dave? What do you say about liquid damage?
Were you asking me, Razz?
Dave? Yeah.
Yes, Dave.
What's your comment on this?
Oh, okay. This was really, really sad. You know, and especially so since you explained the situation, Linda. You know, the damn government, they just act like people are expendable. They're a means to their own end. It really pisses me off about stuff like, you know, this sort of shit. Human beings are not expendable. They're a miracle from God, and we don't have the right to extinguish them. You know, it's bullshit. And then I know this is not your friend's situation here, but a lot of times people that are bent on committing suicide, they don't have any concept of the I don't know, the leftovers after they're gone, you know. Like you had to sit with her, I don't know how many times, but it sounds like a few times. And, you know, that's really hard on a person. It's terrible. And I can just, I've never had to do it. Yeah. And it just, once you go through that, I would think that you would think, well, it's just you know, she's living on borrowed time, you know, because, you know, if people are radical enough to try that, they'll probably do it again. And
right.
I don't know. It's
I
too much
coaxed her in off of ledges on high-rise buildings. I held her head so she could vomit up the pills. I stitched her up a couple times, and she fell through she took a bunch of pills and fell through a glass tabletop and sliced herself up real good that I had to clean that up. But yeah, I was only about 17 or 18 at the time. So it was it was quite a deal for me to understand.
Really traumatic. Well, I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Well, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You know, I learned a lot about it, and you know, I can relate to people that want to do that. You know, I don't think there's a reason to do that, but I can relate to people who feel that they have to kill themselves, and not that is of any use.
There's not ever a logical reason in reality. It's just very hard to rationalize.
I got a question, Linda. Why the title? Because the title says a lot, I think, right? It's
a needle and pink thread because I sewed her up with pink thread.
Oh, okay, got it.
I used to tease her when I'd go to sew her up about what color thread, and we would pick pink, and then we'd joke about it afterwards about how it matched her jacket or whatever, you know, and we'd laugh.
Okay, that's something else. But that's even better.
Beautiful poem.
Yeah. And
thank you very much.
Of course, you're the queen of rhyme, you know, with the perfect cadence there and flow. Like, it just doesn't even, you don't even have to think about it. It just comes out that way. And it's always perfect and it's right on the money every time. But, yeah, this is like, you know, written how you are, with full of heart, and you care about everybody. You never say anything bad or negative about anyone. And you're a true friend, and you show real support, always do. And this just says that, but goodbyes are empty rhetoric. It wouldn't change a thing. You'd still be dead. And I'd still cry. Like, so true, you know. And it's sad that maybe this is the only way she ever got peace. Let's hope so, right? Beautiful job.
Thank you.
You know, some minds just can't take it. I've had known people, you know, that have like come back from trauma, and it's just, they're not the same.
Trauma fucks up everything, right? And everybody's got it, don't they? Some worse than others, but it's the root of so many evils, trauma.
Right. I'm going to guess the answer is death, psychologically. But, you know, that's a whole other thing, because trauma, it forms usually at an early age, is what's speculated by the psychologists. All these other life events, they're only so much more traumatic than the ones you go through when you're a kid. And what eventually
like
develops into your functional mind, yeah.
You know, it's between the formative years, 2 and 7, right? They say that's when you form your brain. That's when all you remember, and it shapes your whole life. But and people don't think of their kids. But
I first stepped into a school at 4th grade. They had to put me in according to my age. I was like, what is this? Yeah, trauma's fun. Good time.
I went to special class to learn how to color in the lines and use the scissors.
Oh, my God, boo. Hey. It works.
Right, I can't watch Halloween and not remember kindergarten. It's not that long of a story, but you know, I was at school care. Yeah, it was around Halloween time, and so the teachers all took us to like one of the little houses there and put on the video like at 6 o'clock at night when it was sundown, and it had that effect on me for the rest of my life. The actual movie Halloween.
I love the music. So cool. And so creepy.
Well, what is it? Was it?
Oh, yeah.
Can't help
like that.
Shit.
Yeah. No, that's Friday the 13th.
There was that dumb bimbo. Guys, are you in there?
I think I saw that in 5th grade or whatever. I saw it like really late. It's cool, though.
I love Halloween because it's getting dark early. It has that smell like stuff burning. I forget what that is, but I don't know. I like that season.
Oh, God, I'm in the 4 seasons. Yeah. I actually have 4 seasons where I live now. It's crazy.
That's a good thing. Me, it goes from sweating to sweating some more to like freezing at night. I was going to go.
Yeah,
if that's okay, Razz.
This is the best for Twilight going down by 6. So, Boo, would you care to take off the podium?
Yeah, that's okay. It's sort of kind of Halloweenish. I should have saved this one, but I'll probably write another one. And it is called Behind Death's Door. In asylums, they threw us away, tried to hide us from the light of day. We were different, easy to see, but we were treated horribly. Poked and prodded and beaten down, no one to help us for miles around. Always drugged, we cannot fight. To experiment on us wasn't right. Oh, their tables were laid on display for medical students to see every day. Naked and cold, we couldn't escape. We had to accept this was our fate. The only way out was death by a hand, the sweetest thing in this wasteland. Forgotten are we because no one will see the horrors we still endure eternally. When not gone and will never be, we roam these halls free. We escape the torture but still can't see how we gain no sanity. If inside you want to look, remember, here our bodies shook. Our screams you'll hear upon your ear we just went out, so there's no fear. You'll run away and lock the door. We're used to that and nothing more. Just stay out and let us be. We're happy here, somewhat free. One day surely we'll see the sky when clouds have lifted and gone on by. So pray for us whenever you can. We're all alone here in this lonely land. End poem.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a wonderful sense of meter here, Boo, and what lies behind that door of death, I think it's questionable. You provoke, do some of the dead not ever lay at rest here behind death's door, and should we pray for their souls to finally, find rest? It's a controversial look at that very idea of whether or not everyone really stays dead. Thank you for the share, Boo. Liquid, I heard you make a bit of noises there. Would you like to comment on this piece by Miss Little Boo?
Yeah. Wow, Boo. Talk about rhyme and cadence. This was special. It had such a nice, even flow to it, and your rhyme was just impeccable. The meanings of I assume you're talking about the dead. Being used for cadavers and being stuck on a plane where they know that they're being abused, but there's nothing that they can do about it because they're dead. And I think that you put a heart into them and a soul and made them something special. But the poem was lovely, and I really thank you for sharing it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I also looked at the same words. I had a different interpretation there, Boo, about lovers when they get too loud at night, and no one knows how to, shut them up from making love. But that's a whole other outtake on the idea of the door.
Thank you, Razz.
Zappa, what do you say to this by Miss Little Boo?
We all need our maker, no matter who we are, whatever color, race, color, creed, it does not matter. I know this probably doesn't even apply, Boo, but it really gets hard, One day, surely, we'll see the sky when clouds have lifted, gone on by. So pray for us whenever you can. We're all alone in this lonely land. We'll all need our maker, I just hope for good things, hope for good things. And just in case, I'm going to pray in every religion I can possibly think of. Beautiful.
Cover your bases.
Is that Rack back?
Rack back. Did you return with the gram?
Yeah, with the gram. I'm okay. I just had an issue. I had to walk away for a second, and I didn't want to interrupt. But yeah, I'm back. I didn't hear it, but I'm getting the gist of it. It's a topic that I kind of like the thought of, and I'm sure you did a great job with it, Boo. At some point, you're going to have to read it to me.
Don't worry, I will.
Yeah. You know what's behind that store, Rack? That's the title. Any thoughts on that idea behind that store?
The store?
Behind that store.
Behind death's door.
Behind death. Behind. Oh, yeah. That's a lovely concept. You know what's waiting for us on the other side. Oh my God. Yeah. I bet you went on about that.
Yeah.
Like Zappa mentioned, you know, it really kind of humbles you. So some people, you know, I don't know, don't think about the concept of, you know, we only have in the scope of infinity, we're only spending a fraction of the time on this earth, and really, you know, the afterlife is the bigger picture. And you know what's waiting for us. You know, are we really digging our own graves? And you know, the whole idea of infinity of you know, the ultimate you know, where you wind up and your fate. It really gives, well, it gives me pause anyway. You know, it's
also, you know what, Razz? I was. That's all of those things you guys said, but also, what about that person that you see, right? The person who's walking around like a zombie, head down. No one pays any attention to them. No one talks to them. They all think he's just going around like he's just dead inside, you know, those people, and they're stuck within their own mind of their own fucking sadness and, you know what I mean, their own self-deprivation. They're just, you know, a zombie, like just, and they can't escape, they can't get out of it, kind of like, you know, there's a lot of people with a lot of demons. But I'm talking, you know, the ones that, you just look at them and you're just like, oh, you know, but they won't let you know they're hurting, kind of, too. I don't know if that makes sense, but
that's a lot of personal interaction, in my opinion, too. You know, the whole idea of treating others as you want them to treat you. In my own personal life, I'm one of those people. I'm not going to want to put what's bothering me on somebody else, especially if I don't know them. In one sense, I'll mutter to myself, it's none of their damn business anyway. But, you know, at the same time, it's like, you know, well, you know, there's no need to go into it if there's nothing they could do about it anyway. And it's not necessarily going to make me feel better. Half the time I yell at the people that are trying to help me because it's like, you know, talking about it hurts. It's like, why do you want to pick at the scabs? You know, leave it alone.
And then times like that, when you do ask somebody what's the matter, they're like, oh, I'm fine, you know, and that's what we're conditioned to say, right? So, yeah. Thank you.
Tough nail to bite. It's a damn tough nail to bite.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes,
do you want to do...
Wait, we have someone else who has to comment. Zappa and Dave.
Yeah, I'd like to comment on it. You know, we don't know what's going on, you know, after we pass. You know, I've talked to a lot of people that are really well educated, and they think that I really do think there's something to this spiritual ideology, I guess. I really think that there's different levels that you can exist on for probably forever if you want. You know, and you have to make up your mind why you're there to begin with. You know, that to me is basically what this poem was talking about. I really like the way you wrote it, though. It's really descriptive. You come right out and say what's on your mind. I don't ever have to guess about what you're talking about. You know, it's one of the things I love about you. You're real straightforward, and what you see is what you get, and that's what I like about this poem. You know, I don't know. You can take things away from this from every different angle, I think. I think you did a really fine job of overall, you know, blending everything in together, because there's so many different ways you could take this. And, you know, it's, and I think Razz said something about the fact that we don't, somebody anyway, I'm not sure, but we don't pay much attention about what's going on. It's just, we're just on Earth on a universal scale, just for microseconds, and then all of a sudden we're not there, and we're looking at infinity. And some people you know, they don't feel like they don't give a shit about what's going on Earth. They don't try to be the best person they can, so they just do whatever they want. And then, you know, then they're stuck at some level, whether that's hell or some other level. You know, I don't know, but you know, we have to think about that. And at the same token, you know, we are brothers keepers. And, you know, if you see somebody that's not quite right or not all there, you know, we have to wonder why they went down that road. You know, I mean, it's not our place to judge them. You know, you can try to help them if they want to be helped, but a lot of times they don't want to be. But if the opportunity presents itself, then I think we should. And you know, I don't know. I really like this poem. I thought it was really, really, really well done. Your rhyme and meter's perfect on it too, by the way. Nice job. Nice job.
Thank you so much, Steve.
You're welcome.
Yeah, there's a little echo there in the background, but that was a great comment, Dave. And Zappa, what about you?
I thought they did comment.
Yeah, you remember commenting? I don't know. I've just been drinking a little too much vanilla mix with my medication tonight. Yeah, if you wanted to go to that store the second time, see if there's a whole new result, some parapsychology. Adam, you're on the line.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
There he is. Hey.
I thought
what's
this
up,
was
Adam?
Everybody's, you know, milled out. Yeah. Remuted. Great pieces tonight from everybody. I liked Boo's piece. I thought it was a great storytelling. Very dark. Yeah, I don't think she can escape it. You know, romantic, and it's even in its sad darkness, because you know, it's telling a good story though. Like, yeah, I'm like carrying along with them, and of course, you know, her rhyming meter, like everyone's saying, is great. And you got everybody thinking a lot tonight with this piece about the hereafter.
Question, Adam. I mean, you're not wrong, but I'm just wondering, where did you see the romance?
In that they're two people together.
Yeah.
So if there's two, I'm guessing that they're a couple of some sort. That's probably my assumptions.
No, making it afterwards. Like, you know, really making it, right?
In asylums, they threw us away. But it could be a generalized us, like everybody. I like that you use asylum. Asylum is a very ambiguous word, you know, but usually associated with, like, insane asylum. But it can mean a safe place, right? Asylum. But, yeah, it's a great piece.
By international law, yeah.
Great piece.
Thank you.
So, Adam, would you care to take the floor, sir? Love and time.
Why not?
Suicide.
Well, while we're in the asylum, let's do it.
You come to mind, John Kitty.
Sinister had his own sanitarium. I'm not surprised you has one too.
All right, this is just wrote this earlier today, and was thinking, and this is a true story. This is a true piece of a story of my life. So, it's wild that the topics that have already been kind of touched on, and I only read. Anyways, wild. Anyways, it's called Love in the Time of Suicide. The lip is bit in a silent word. Too often hers have been eaten quietly. Chewed slowly alone in isolation. Screams are wide eyes wild. She takes a less subtle expression, writing silence in crimson. the writing on the wallpaper and her limbs peeling, soaked up like a sponge by the hospital gown and Egyptian cotton 1,000 thread count. I peer in reverse of my observation window, a little benign cubic view, as the lion who leers no longer a king but a pet, curiously from his den at the zoo. Those hulking men, have corralled her yet again. She swipes and jabs with grit and flair from dirty long nails that dangle from flaccid, knotty wrists. Scars of harm are thick and raised. Reminds me why we are in this place. Fangs bare and flash of fury. Though she is silent still, eyes of a banshee through the willows of her oily hair do not see what is coming. Upon the sterile linoleum, sanctioned now in syringe prayer, her face that stormed is now placid relief. Petals fall away, the bud of beauty is fleeted. Her beast sleeps. Fluorescent lights murmur and buzz, a flicker triggers a memory. I remember the corner she caught me in, the dry, flaking thirst of her mouth, and with stinking, shaky breath, the kiss, soured in coffee, passion, and cigarettes. I kissed her back with orange rind tongue, and our tobacco-stained fingers layered our hope. In savoring whispers she fed me her voice, a precious airy fruit. Let's escape together. She has remained mute ever since. And peace.
Oh wow, yeah, this is definitely a great Gothic story, and it has its own vein of contemporary horror. But what's interesting enough is that suicide's not fatal. We're talking about, at least what I perceive, is someone who goes into a kind of comatose trance for life, and they have to go and be taken care of. Yet at the same time, it's killing this other person that they can't move on, and that's definitely its own kind of way of caring, and yet not, going anywhere else from there. So it brought up some interesting emotions, what there is of this Gothic piece. Adam, thank you very much. Rack,
thank you, Riz.
Since you're back, the Graham, would you like to stay here?
I'm so damaged. You said suicide is now I got the damn theme from MASH in my brain, and it's bothering the hell out of me.
Suicide is
an awesome song.
Yeah, I know, and that's why it's stuck in my head because of what it is. But anyway, yeah, the poem itself, though, you got some lovely visuals to it. But to me, I'm getting a vein of like a suicide pact that she wanted to take you down with her. It's like she's already decided that that's the path she's going down, and you want to be with her. Well, then you're going to have to come down that path with me. And it's yeah, it's a frightening thought. So, someone on the other side of looking at that is like, so, lonely and desperate to be with someone. They're like, well, okay, if that's how it's got to be, then, you shoot you, I'll shoot me. It's just one of those things. It feels like going down the drain, but you're both going down the drain, kind of in sympathy. I'm going to support you by not trying to talk you out of it, and actually tacit approval, as they say. It's really wild the way that you wrote that. There's a lot of emotion in it and a lot of darkness, and backed up with good visuals. So you did a great job with that.
Thanks, Rick.
Yes, that would be the word on the wire. Liquid, what about you?
Liquid still there?
Suicide is pain.
It brings about many changes.
I'm here. I thought this was awesome. The story about losing one's mind is very poignant and bold. It's like on the cusp of suicide. It's got to drive you insane. being locked up and wanting to do damage, but story was very done in a very loving way. The way I saw it, anyway. Watching somebody we love lose their mind is something that's hard to do. Like I did it with my friend.
Definitely a serious
I know the pain that it causes, and to be able to put that down in a form like you have was very cool. You're a fantastic writer. This is a great poem, and I thank you for sharing it.
Thank you, Linda.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, all this tones of death is great for the Halloween season. Thanks for the right again, Adam. And Zappa, what do you make of this? Is love suicide?
How many times in hospital is the first thing I was thinking, because it desensitizes us after a while, especially after we've been I don't know, it's just a different, we're not, if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. I really know what I've been there a few times. It's crazy, it really is. It's a really good poem. I laid some comments down. It really touches my heart.
Thank you, Zach.
Yeah, the headstone set. What about you, Dave Prophet?
He had to go. He said on the board he had to go.
Oh, Dave Dip. All right. So,
Dip and Dave.
That takes
I liked it,
down
though. He said, poem Adam.
Yeah, you boot. And then I'm going to go grab the caller in the studio.
Okay. Yeah, you say, well, my favorite lines are, she takes to less subtle expression, writing silent and crimson, her writing on the wallpaper and her limbs peeling. Ew, like I could just see that she's just fading away, becoming less and less of the person that she used to be. And it sort of reminds me of someone rotting away, waiting for something that's never going to come. And about that waste, I might be familiar, might ring a bell or something. I don't know, maybe that we talked about recently, but I'm not sure. But yeah, and I see the desperation, and people always say that those people are like cowards or whatever. That's not an easy thing to do. When you think that's the only way out, and that's going some. Now I can't find where I put this. I wanted to tell you something else about it. I guess I got to go on the next page. But I don't know if you wrote this for a prompt or a contest, or you just wrote this, write it. But this title made me want to read it. Love in the time of suicide. Like, that's darkly depressing. I peer in reverse of my obstruction window, a little benign cubic view, like she's just looking out at the world and how big it is, and almost like how scared. Is this about one person or two people? Cause
two. Her and me.
Smith and Wesson.
Yeah, the dry, fleeting thirst of the mouth. Like, the whole thing is just visceral and smart written and dark, like you said about mine, darkly romantic. Good job.
Yeah, I thought,
leaning towards a P-89 Ruger or a 1911.
Let's escape together, fuck it, let's do it. We're already fucked, let's go. I love you.
Unfortunately, it's not easy when there's
a little bit of the cult there. My life and time with the death killer cult. Killjoy.
And she was mute ever since. Why is that? I'd like to know.
So she's got an orange rind for a tongue, that's why.
Oh, that was mine. My tongue.
Really? Is that why, Adam?
No.
I know. Why is she mute? Can you tell me?
It's a
metaphor.
It's a metaphor for, but she also was kind of catatonic, and crazy. And I say that in a way that it's not offensive to my generation because I am that. That is I am that. So I know later, people feel like crazy is a offensive word, but I was young and I met her.
State of mind.
Yeah, it's a state of mind, man.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, it was a suicide wing of a mental health facility that I met this woman. She was already, so it was a first time meeting, and that's kind of why it's like it's kind of like after the meeting has already happened. That's why I guess, am remembering when she caught me in the corner and actually spoke to me when she was pretty much mute and didn't say anything to anybody. It was all whatever she had been through in her life had kind of muted her. She didn't speak at all. But she spoke in ways you've seen, her movements, her eyes, and I was very young then.
She spoke to you.
Yeah, she actually did speak to me, but there's like these hulking. When I say them, these hulking men, like literally, they have like the biggest guys you can imagine, being orderlies in places like that, who really don't give a shit and will, anyway. There's lots of stories from my times in places like this, and this is
but
just
isn't the point you're saying that she took the time to talk to you, right?
Well, yeah, I'm recognizing that was a moment that was special. It was unique.
Yeah.
I never,
she came out of her shell and her silence to talk to you. Yeah.
Yeah, because you were worth it enough to talk. Because you were worth it to talk to, she ventured out. That makes it really romantic.
I don't necessarily know. Who knows? She might have thought I was. Who knows what goes on in a mind like that? I have a similar mind. I don't know. Yeah. So I would be making assumptions to know what she could have possibly thought.
So great, because
I was a handful myself, hence why I'm in a isolated room looking through a little observation window at the scene going on before me. They kept us separated after some of our kind of encounters and stuff. They didn't when they saw threats, what they appeared to be threats to them, they batten down the hatches, with people and
harm to yourself or others. They thought you were going to hurt yourself.
Right. Yeah. Hence. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they split those people up always. You think they're dangerous, but a lot of times they're not really. That's a great concept. We got a lot of deaths tonight.
Yeah, it's like the lo-fi asylum.
I'm going to put Poetas down there, and it's along the same line. So, thank you, Adam.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate the feedback and the discussion.
It's
weird
great
because it really fit
hear
into
the personal experience
thread
from the
of the
poet's
night.
mouth. Definitely. Another highlight.
Adam, will you read for Poeta?
Oh, sure. I just literally clicked it, too, so I'm looking at it.
Wait. Hold on a second. I'm going to grab the call in the studio before we move on to the next poem.
Sorry.
Hello?
Oh, sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
It's Peacock.
Hi.
No,
Peacock?
it's Francine. How are you?
Francine.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear you.
How are you?
Hey, Francine.
I was listening.
Hey, girls. There's a girl.
Hi, Francine.
How are you?
Hi, Lynn. Hi, Boo.
Francine.
Hey. I know where you were.
I hope you don't mind Razz grabbing you.
I'm not grabbing on to anyone here.
Who are you grabbing?
Are you holding on loosely?
No, I have to keep my hands to myself.
You said you were grabbing the caller. I'm just taking you at your word.
Fortunately, he's a gentleman.
Grab me then.
I got blisters in my fingers, so it didn't matter.
I got
Hey, some women like it ribbed, Zappa. Okay, Adam, go ahead and read for Poeta.
Poeta.
Do Francine.
Some people play it rough.
After death. Could things actually be better after death? Wonder what happens after our last breath. Do we just lay 6 foot under and rot away? Or do our skeletons get up, go out to play? Perhaps we catch up with a lost loved one, leaving land of living to kickstart the fun. Who knows how the dead men actually behave? Might have a great time dancing on the grave. Guess we'll all know one day when we are dead, when our innards rot away and our skin is shed. Maybe better off avoiding all life's shocking upheaval. No eyes, ears, or mouth to see, hear, or speak any evil. Some believe we die, and for those forgiven of sins, perhaps after death living for them really just begins. Who knows for certain that when we die it's the end? Could be the start of something special with a friend. May catch up with lost family and dearly loved friends. No one knows for certain that with death it actually ends. Love to see skeletons kissing and cuddling on a dark night. Seeing them make love too would be an awesome sight. Living life on earth can bring some of us much pleasure. Who knows, after death things may even get a bit better. Should we actually be afraid when death decides to beckon? Or should we believe in angels, God, and of course heaven? Only way to know exactly is to die. That is beyond doubt. Love to know the answer, but I'm in no hurry to find out. Fact is, only ones who have taken their very last breath actually have any idea at all if there is life after death. Let's hope that when all our living as humans is done, that after our death we do not have a whole lot more fun. After we lose our hair, vital organs, and shed our skins, is dying an accomplishment before a new world begins. That was the end of the piece. Great piece, Poeta.
Yeah. Would you like
Sorry
to comment on that, Adam? Right, absolutely.
Yeah, it's very, I'll comment. It's a great piece. I love the picture with it, too. It's very sweet. I feel like it reminds me very much of, like, Day of the Dead. It has that, almost the feel of, what's the word I'm looking for? Reverence for the dead and the passing and the afterlife, and not necessarily in the scope of any one religion, just the macabre of it. And it's very light. He brings up a lot of great, interesting ideas to ponder throughout it, which I like. I love that there's the mention of angels, God, and heaven, but it's not like there's necessarily saying that's the way, right? So that's cool. You know, I don't believe there is any one way anyways. That's my own feeling. I like how the writer, the poet, kind of left it ambiguous on their stance. Is saying, well, it could be this, it could be that, and it's very, I like it. You know, it's kind of, you know, I like how they say, I'm in no rush, you know, I'm not in a hurry to die, but I am, fascinated. They're fascinated by it, and I think it is fascinating. I think humans have always been fascinated by not only what is the purpose of life, but also what happens when we die. It's like the equal, you know, side of the same coin. You know, has just as much value as this conscious life is our conscious death. What is thereafter? It's a beautiful piece. I like it, and it has a light air to it. I like. It's very palatable for its darkness. It's a good piece.
Those words, very profound words. I found you to be, as usual, philosophical in interpreting this.
Yeah, no shit.
You know, it brings about a couple of kind of horrific images. If we just kind of decompose, period, even right before that state of death. But what came to mind to me specifically was elephants. They have their own ritual of burying others of their species, and yet, you know, do we have any really awareness if there's a place where all these dead elephants are right now? So
they know exactly where to go.
About many reflector, is there an afterwards? Very true. Rack, what do you think about this by Poetic the Cobra?
Yeah, I thought it was handled beautifully. Lighthearted, but a very serious subject. The viewpoint is very cool. Even I wanted to make a crack when she's talking about watching the skeletons make love. I've seen people bone. I've seen people bone before, so Anyway, it's just one of those things. But the whole piece, and again, that's just my warped sense of humor. But I thought something like that would have fit in there. But I'm glad that she was somewhat serious about, or he, whatever they, damn. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the point of view and the perspective on it, and the contemplativeness, like Adam had mentioned. They kind of didn't commit one way or the other. It was just pondering and posing the question and curiosity, and at the same time, kind of hinting that, well, not so much hinting, but outright, making sure that you don't think that, I'm not thinking about doing it. Because sometimes when people think about it, I've seen tragic instances where children curious about death start asking questions, and the next thing you know, the psychologists want to lock them away. It's like, no, they're just being curious. That's just their nature. That doesn't mean they're thinking about actually doing it. They're just like, because so-and-so happened or so-and-so died, and they're curious, and then everyone wants to run and lock them up because they're worried about their mental health. This was done in a very appropriate way, I think. It's just looking, or they were looking at it, and anyway, so someone go to the profile and see if it's a woman. Damn it. Anyway, it was a nice piece. It was really well put and well written, and light but serious at the same time, and contemplative and reflective. Excellent front page material.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, these writers always do an astounding job who contribute to the show. Thank you, Rack. What about you, Liquid Damage? What's your take on this piece?
Well, the beautiful narrative, but the rhyme and cadence was perfectly done. This has a magical concept with very funny overtones. I thought it had delightful imagery, and it kind of all put together made this a complete story. I thought this was really cute, and it made me think, do you guys remember that game? I think it was called Knockin' Bones, but it had little skeletons in different positions, and you put them in a cup-like thing, and you shook them, and you spilled them out, and they would land different ways. If one landed on top of the other, it was called Knockin' Bones. So you can imagine where I'm going with that. But this was very cute, and at the same time, it had a lot of.
It was profound.
Yeah,
Play
profound
model.
thought, and I thought it was just lovely. So thank you for sharing it, Poeta.
Wonderful feedback, Liquid. And
thank you, Razz.
Zap, are you still there? Or did we kill it to death, bringing up death?
No. I just kept reading and rereading. Oh, initially, okay, you guys, before, what do we have? Generation X, Generation Y, and now we have Generation WTF. Read between the lines. Oh, that one stanza I really love. Some believe we die, and for those forgiven of sins, perhaps after death living for them really just begins. Who knows for certain that when we die, it's the end. It could be the start of something special with a friend. I so would love that.
Me too.
My mom in her dying day, she just, and I mean literally in her dying day, she's hardcore Catholic, our daily bread. And, I really do feel this, Poeta. I really do feel this. It's really good, really, really good.
Yes, that was an interesting take, Zappa. Once again, you had me thinking of something else when you said that. I can imagine the typical Bronx mom ending up with her kid in the afterworld. It's like, are these people the ones from Harlem? Yeah. What about your take on this, Francine?
Well, when I looked at it the first time, when I heard it the first time, I really liked the feel of it. But if I had to look at it again, and I really do think that there was a lot of thought put into this. It's very profound. The poeta, she really thought this through. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. It looks like she really put a lot of time and effort into it and thought it through, and her rhyme is beautiful. I like the lightness of it. It's not a heavy doomsday kind of poem. It's very light, and she leaves it open-ended, so you can think different ways are possible. Like, nobody really knows, so everybody has a theory, but you have to die to find out, and she's not in a hurry to do that. So I really liked it a lot.
You just want to say that.
A lot of wondering in it. Like, she's wondering, is this the way or is that the way? So I liked it.
For the record,
yeah,
he's a dude. Here. Yeah. I mean, a lot of you didn't know. I just wanted to make sure people know it's a guy. But I like his version much better than what we learn here. I mean, his sounds a lot more of how I want heaven and the afterlife to be, Sounds like you're meeting your friends, you're having a good time. If the picture's beautiful, it's got to be better than this, right? So, and then some believe we die and those forgiven of our sins. Let's hope so.
What?
Because 12 years of Catholic school told me that's what happens. So let's see what's going on. And then living on Earth can bring us so much pleasure, but also, who knows, if death makes things much better. Yeah, that would be great, So that's what I'm looking forward to, the world's biggest family reunion for me. So, and he always has his wit style, and he was a perfect rhyme every time. He's a rhymer all the way. Good stuff.
Great stuff. And Poeta writes on the board, he's still a male. Joe Biden defunded all those drag shows.
Hey, guys.
Show us.
He kept
Show us.
his own masculinity in place.
God.
Yeah.
Okay. Prove it.
Down, boo.
All right.
Channel.
So
the accent too.
We have all the commenting for Poeta, and I need a reader. Liquid, could you read Garden Delight's Victorian Dreaming?
Sure.
Thank you.
Is it on the board?
Yeah, the link's there. Garden Delight.
Let me refresh. Now I have a button that does that.
Victorian Dream.
I'm not even going to go there. Oh, my God.
I found
it. Oh, my God. Magnum P.I. Where's it at? I don't see it.
Victorian Dreams by Garden Delight. This sea, so enticing to a traditional girl, garbed in Victorian crinolines, aching to shed her voluminous skirts. She imagined racing into the shallows, wearing only her chemise, drenched by saltine waves moving excitedly through mild currents. Sparkling droplets punctuated the air, radiant daytime stars engraved forever upon her heart, in peace.
Beautiful.
Excellent reading on your part, Liquid. What would you like to say about this by Garden Delight?
I thought it was really pretty. I like her reference to the sea and wanting to just rip your clothes off and go in the ocean is like an amazing feeling. I've been there and done that, but the way she uses a Victorian girl dressed in all the skirts and petticoats and stuff is very lovely. The whole thing is just kind of flows. It's a beautiful brevity. Let's see, what else? I just think she did a really excellent job putting this together. It's short, but it's very sweet. And thank you for sharing, and thank you for letting me read.
Yes, it was definitely a great piece. I found the mentioning of, this kind of society which has reached a higher middle class. You find this in the movies nowadays, and it just takes you on that Lifetime Channel trip. That what you think of a perfect world can all be there if you find the right stocks, commodities, and properties. And I do believe in a kind of sense within society that's modern Victorian, and this has that element within the writing. Rack, what about you?
Yeah, when you mention the Victorian era and clothing, my mind goes to okay, it's going to take about an hour and a half to get undressed. So the idea of ripping your clothes off probably comes from that.
It's more than a bustier back then, right?
Feel like I have to get it.
Yeah, I mean the buttons and the snaps and the contraptions, and you almost got to be Houdini. But that was then. I did not to take away from her beautiful imagery though. She did. I'm assuming again. This was done beautifully. And as a brevity too. There's that moment that I think exists in almost every romantic movie where they're at the beach and they just want to tear their clothes off and run into the surf, and that was what I got out of this. That moment that was captured, just wonderfully done, and definitely I could feel the emotion behind it and smell the surf and the spray, and obviously the beach wasn't in Jersey or Brooklyn, so it was beautiful.
Oh, they didn't have clean water.
California.
Right, there you go. Beautiful
That
beaches.
perfect Pacific surf. What do you say about this, Adam, since you spoke up last?
I thought this was beautiful. And yeah, for 50 words in a brevity, there's a lot of quite the picture she paints, or he, Garden Delights. I get this. Okay, I get this feeling that there's it's kind of like a longing in this person. I guess that's almost anybody that's kind of like by the ocean, kind of just dreamily looking upon it. But for whatever reason, somehow in me, I feel she invokes this feeling that this character is missing something that was once there, that they are looking upon the ocean, wanting to join with what is missing. Maybe someone who went to sea and never returned, or a lover that's out there still at sea, but somehow the sea connects them, to this other person in some way, and almost like to find that freedom again would be to be free and get in the water. And I don't know how it kind of like conjured that all up in me. I don't want to, but it did. And like with 50 words to like create a visceral reaction in me, and so that's powerful. And that's well done, Garden Delights.
Adam, do you like sand in your crotch?
Oh my God!
Sex on the beach.
Good grief.
Horrible.
Sandcastle Boo.
Oh God, I hate sand so much. But anyway.
Who doesn't like sex on the beach, Boo?
It's a good.
You always clean yourself afterwards for the sand crabs.
It gets in all the cracks and crevices, though.
Lower the drawbridge.
Zappa,
have fun storming the
I see
castle.
that you think this is like Chris Isaac. that was one hell of a song back in the 90s.
I think of that. Oh my God. Yeah. Seriously. Really, it's just boom, it's pow right in the brain, you know. It's like, oh my God.
The video was
not the woman, okay, just everything.
No,
you know,
the
everything
whole
was in black
video, the
and
music,
white.
the lighting, all of it. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, how many of you make it a baby to that song? Quite a few. I'm probably sure. Just kidding. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be the one to fall in love with you is a very good lyric. It's an extremely seductively done video. I remember it. It stood out.
Did it make you want to get Sandy,
everything else? Yeah, perfectly shot.
It reminds me of just, I've been on the beach many times. It brings back memories.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, just that video itself, yeah.
Mhm. We all have a beach experience somewhere. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, I lived on the beach when I was homeless. It was a great place to stay.
Yeah. Now they kick everybody out, you know. Not so fucking dicky about it. Do you know how much it costs to park at the beach here? $20 just to park in the parking lot.
Yeah, it's getting crazy. It really is getting crazy, you guys.
Remember when Walmart used to let you, like, camp out there or whatever? I heard they don't do that anymore. Is that true? Anybody know?
Right now
in California, I know that in Southern California you can't even have a barbecue on the beach. But
you can't shit on the beach, and when they're driving up and down constantly, it's like, there's anything better to do, really. But yeah, took away that.
Plenty of nice beaches here in Florida. Boo.
Good point. There sure is, and they're green.
Yeah,
and they're warm.
San Diego, you can.
I'm just on the cusp right here. I'm between Georgia and Florida. It's I don't know. Times are crazy.
So we need a reader for this next one, and yeah.
Me? Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh, it's a dude. Never mind. Yeah, you read it, Zappa.
Budos again and again. Zappa, would you care to read?
Sure. This is by Budo. Again and again, and these are songlers. Please double-click below to listen to. Okay. I can read between the lines and feel the bowls of winter cold. In the bluster heaps a sigh again and again. I can listen to your lies, nod my head and might pretend, but I know the truth resides in the wrath of northern wind. How I wish that it could be what it was if it were real, of those times I've spent with you, years in honest appeal. But I know the game is played to begin and then to end as the winner takes the spoils over and over again. So it never ends. Yes, it never ends when you can't win. So you leave behind a wake where I ride until I drown in emotional undertow that pulls me deeper down till the light is all but gone and the darkness sighs aloud to carry me in chaos in an all-ensnaring shroud. So it never ends. Yes, it never ends when you can't win. So it never ends. Yes, it never ends with no letter to send. Info. Beautifully done.
Whoa, definitely. Yeah, this one, it struck me as one of those loves that becomes ritualistic as you think about this person, and you're never going to see them again, but you just can't help thinking about it, and it's just cutting a whole new wound each time. Why they're not responding to your calls, and the FBI now has you on the most sexual offender registered list. Thank you, Zappa. What about your take on this? You did it great by Buddha. Zappa.
Oh, Zappa. Zappa.
Love, man, love.
Love. Yeah, that's the way to go.
We kill ourselves. We kill ourselves over it.
I like where it says in the Wrath.
Again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's in the Wrath. What do you say? Something like in the Wrath of Northern Winds. That's pretty cool.
The metaphor is beautiful. I really love So It Never Ends. Yes, it never ends when you can't win. My God. That's basically the love drug right there. It's like, I call it the love drug. It's something that you know.
Okay, that honeymoon. Oh, shit.
You can find the right person, they're always the love drug. I would go with you there, Zappa. Rack, what do you think on this by Budo?
Oh yeah, he's great with the emotions in this. You know, there's what I like to think of as the hamster wheel effect, but you know, he's got the winner takes it all wrapped up in there too. So it's almost like one of those loves that are doomed to fail. As much as you know, keep getting back on the wheel and trying. You know, when the other person just kind of swallows everything up and takes it with them, and leaves you to the aftermath, it's just a little heartbreaking at that point. But you know, the overall piece was just beautiful. He does a great job with that. Surprised he didn't do the audio. Miss you, Bud.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Miss you, Bud. I know. I love Bud.
Love to have you anytime on the show, Bud. You're always another great highlight. And Liquid, what do you make of this, by this lyrical genius here, Bud?
Well, I just adore Bud's work, and I'm so happy to see him on tonight. I think this was beautiful. He has a way of writing love songs, especially the broken love songs, and making them so just heartfelt and emotional, and he's just a lovely writer, and I've missed him truly. I don't know where he's been, but to see his work again, you can always tell Budo, and his music too is very lovely. I wish we could have heard the music with the poem, but I liked it. I really liked it.
Don't you think?
Yeah. It was poignant,
really good.
and heartfelt, and very cool. Thank you, Bud. Miss you.
Yeah, Bud, you're welcome to come back anytime. And so we're almost reaching our end here. We're going to have to cut down comments. And Francine, would you care to take up the podium? Did you bring a piece for us tonight?
Okay, let me put it up wherever I put it. I don't know. Let me see. Okay, put it right here. It's funny because
you could put the link on the board.
I also have a 50-word brevity. Yeah, I'm putting it.
Whichever one you want to do. It's open poetry.
Yep.
So you got.
Hey, Razz.
Hey, Linda.
Yeah, Liquid?
Yeah. Yeah, when we're done, can I announce my shows?
Yeah.
When we're done with Francine?
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
Cool.
Yeah. Sure.
That's a go from everyone around the board.
Don't forget, next Sunday's our anniversary, so we'll be.
I believe you guys
on.
That's
anniversary
good.
special, October 30th, Sunday. 4th anniversary year of LCN.
What day?
Next Sunday.
October 30th. Next Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, next Sunday.
The Rack show is on Saturday, and his is about reconnecting. I think, right? Reconnecting, or?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I
already made your picture. I put your topic up today, and then Linda's got one, and then they'll tell you about it, I guess. And then on the next Saturday, the 6th, is going to be Randall. Songs that you hate.
Aha.
Yeah, I have one. Mine's the 3rd Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
What's
and then
the topic,
I have
or you don't got
one.
It's open?
I have another show on A Team of Voices on the 2nd Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time.
You talking next month?
Yeah, next month.
November.
Yeah, I already did my shows for this month.
That's cool. Thanks, Linda. All right, Francine.
Okay.
And then, Razz, you want to mention yours real quick? Might as well. I already mentioned yours. Did you want to mention yours over there, too? Or?
Oh, what's going to be the moral of the story? Anything that's got a moral. That could be twisted a million different ways to Sunday, so.
Yeah.
It's on Thursday, not Sunday, so.
Okay, thank you. All right, sorry, Francine, ready.
That's okay, yeah. Very short, 48 words.
I didn't see it on the board.
You don't see it?
No, and I just refreshed.
All right, let me go back. You know why? I put it on. Again and again, I put it on
the wrong board.
We're gonna say,
Come on now.
I'll guilty of that.
You've done it again.
Okay, can you see it now?
No.
I just put it on.
Let me refresh again.
Ooh, I love to be refreshed. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
I need to be refreshed.
I'll wash after I refresh, Ma.
Summer's Eve.
No, I don't see it. Go ahead. I'll just follow. But I don't see it. I'm not getting it.
It's not coming. I don't know why.
What's the title of it, Francine?
I've got for King Malcolm. El-Shabazz.
Can you find it, maybe, Razz, real quick?
That's not coming on. I'll try one more time.
I don't even know which one she wants to do, Francine.
Did it go on, that time?
You got somebody on the phone line, Razz.
I think we're in after hours.
It must be
Peacock
time.
We're all on the phone. We're all on the phone lines, Linda.
What's that?
I said we're all on the phone lines.
You want to get it?
Yeah, we're all on different lines. I can't find it either.
Somebody that hasn't been.
I bet you it's Peacock. Okay, tell me the title again. I'll get it for you.
Pensive Thoughts. I'm going to try one more time.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm having trouble getting it on. There it is.
That's not what I heard, Francine. Just kidding.
I think it's on people's poems or something. I probably put it in the wrong place, but anyway. Okay, it's very short.
There it is.
It's only 48 words. Pensive Thoughts. Wrapped in a warm blanket, sitting by the seashore. Promises made before he left. They will marry when he returns. Pensively thinking about the day she and her sweetheart said goodbye. He left for war, taking her heart with him. Now war ended. He will be home soon. End poem.
Oh.
Yes, definitely. That line will be home soon. It reminds me of the end of war. We can just hope this Ukrainian conflict does not continue for another year. That's the political overtone I'm seeing with this piece. Thank you very much, Francine. And
Thank you.
Rack, what do you think of this?
Well, I mean that's modern political, but I'm sure it's timeless. The idea of going away to war was very prevalent a while ago, probably when she was younger. Not to date the lady, but that was just one of those things back in the day. It's a lovely thought, that connection to somebody and seeing them off to war and anticipating their return. It's very heartfelt and romantic. a lot of soul to that idea.
Thank you.
Yes, bring all the boys back home. Zappa.
Yeah.
You're sick.
Times were fast back in, I'll say back in the day, because times apparently are just as fast right now, apparently. The ones we love, I'll stay the course for the one that I love. And, I can really feel this.
That's usually who matters the most, the ones you love.
Yeah.
Oh.
And what about you, Liquid Damage?
I thought it was very romantic and sweet. I had a bad feeling that the end was going to be bad when she said, now the war's over. I thought it was going to be, but he hasn't come home. But I'm glad that it was a happy ending. It soothed my mind. But very good job, Francine. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's killer.
The new queen of brevity, I've noticed.
And let me grab the caller in the studio who made it just in time. Is that really Peacock?
I guarantee it. Where's Adam? How come we not?
Hi.
Where'd Adam go?
It's Peacock.
Hi, Peacock.
Secrets Poetry.
Hi.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Peacock. Where's Adam?
Adam's here.
Going
Okay.
in. I'm not going to get in.
Because I'm worried to see you weren't here. Just wondering. Hey, Peacock. How's it going?
How you guys doing?
You said cut down on comments, Boo.
I know. Ask Adam. I want to know Adam's opinion on this one.
I thought it was a lovely sentimental piece. That is a pensive type weight. You never know what's going to happen during war. And I was glad, too, as Linda was in her relief, that it has a happy ending, that he would be coming home. Often, not to go there, but often not quite the case. So it's good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That
Thank
almost
you.
makes it a fairy tale. Sorry.
Soldier salute.
Almost.
50 guns ablaze fire. Peacock, good to have you here.
Go with the
order
order
here. I love sharing with you guys.
Okay, so
we
we're
have,
going to do...
Peacock go next. Boo.
Who was next? I would think Phil and you and... Forgot who was before that. I have to look. But yeah, that's fine.
And Rat.
In terms
Rack,
of commenting on the poem, or...
I was going to pick one for you, Rack, unless you had one that you wanted read particular.
Yeah, you could do. I think Phoenix works.
Phoenix, okay. We'll do Rack,
it's not
and then
old. I don't think there's an audio, but it's not that old.
Okay. All
Definitely works for MacGyver, the Phoenix Foundation.
Do you mind who reads it, or you don't really care?
That's it doesn't matter who reads it.
Okay.
Zappa can read.
Okay. Let's see. I'll grab it. The first one says, that says Frankenstein, Death by 1,000 Cuts, Desolation, Forget About Forgiving. Phoenix, here we go.
Yeah,
you want me to read it?
In the Book of Mormon, Desolation.
Go ahead.
I read it, Rack?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. All right, this is from Rack called Phoenix. Her verve was a felony, robbing me of my senses, casting a spell on me, subverting my defenses. Immaculated by colliding souls, leaving lives inescapably entwined, filling the empty holes or broken pieces left behind. Dancing with the flames, leading persistent pain to subside, too old for playing games, burying the tears we cried. Shrouded in shadows of yesterday, hidden among fears of tomorrow, trying to live for today, shedding the ruins of our sorrow. Seeking purpose led to her, infinity enriching my life, dreaming of happily ever after, unencumbered by misery and strife. End poem. Why'd you call it Phoenix, Rack? Shit, I hate doing that.
Well, considering how broken a lot of us are, when you dust yourself off and get back up on that horse, it's kind of rising from the ashes.
Yeah. This is good. I like her verb with the felony, robbing me of my senses. Like this chick, it's almost like she was good. It's one of those, they're bad, but they're so good. It seems like, and you couldn't help but meet because you were meant to meet. One way or the other, you were going to meet anyway, and you filled each other's empty spaces and became more one with something the one lacked, the other one had, and vice versa. And then, you're too old for playing games, but you don't want to play any more games, but you're also in the shadows. You're not really sure what's going to lead, so you should probably enjoy today and fuck worrying about tomorrow. That's kind of what I see. But either way, you felt that she was meant to be, and you were led to her, and there was just no way around it. And that's romantic and dark, so I think you did a good job.
Thanks, Boo.
You're welcome. What about you there, Zappa?
Don't do that to me. I never got the poem. I was listening, but I never got the poem.
I forgot to put it up there.
I apologize.
That's
No, it's okay. Boo, when you were commenting, it just reminded me of my girlfriend, for instance. She's so insecure, and there it is. Yeah, and she oh my God, I love her so much, and it's just there's no way I can prove it to her other than say I love you, blah 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 blah. Okay, I got to read this really fast. You can so bear with me, or blah blah blah. What can
you do to make an insecure person secure? You really can't do much.
Oh my God. Yeah, I love her so much, though. I mean, 17 years. We were friends before we were, closer than friends, and it's just, oh my God, dancing with the flames, leading persistence, pain to subside, too old for playing games. Oh dear Lord, doesn't that sum it up in just a few years, right? We old people have to say in just a few years. Shrouded shadows through yesterday, hidden among fears of tomorrow, trying to live forever. Oh my God!
I'm getting my wheelchair ready.
Oh, I'm telling you, hey, I've got a walker. I was just at a hospital not long ago, surgery for some foot thing or whatever, leg foot thing, and they gave me a walker. It was like a golden parachute, Basically, it's a hospital room. Basically, it's a Hilton, but it's a hospital room. You know what I mean? But it's still a hospital room. I love this. I really do. Dream happily ever after. And, oh, my God, that dream's straight. It is a phoenix.
Yeah.
It's a good label to this. It's a very, very pronounced title to this. I really like this.
Thanks.
What about you, Adam?
Got me. Yeah, a phoenix is one of my favorite sort of metaphors. I love the mythical creature. I think it's a wonderful way to use it in an idea of emerging anew, which happens through this person he's speaking of throughout. It's very cool. It's very romantic. And it could be also just, a friend or just anything of that nature. Just somebody that rekindles, brings you back to life. And we often think of a phoenix as like its own doing, but to think another could do it for us too. I love the metaphor of a phoenix, and he does a great job. You know that. You know he's brought back to life in some manner or some way by this other person. Her verve was a felony, robbing me of my senses. To me, that's like just caught in a wonderful, whirlwind of that just takes you away. I like that a lot. Beautiful piece, Rick. I was in the middle of typing my comment.
Razz, and then the next one, please. Then Peacock. We'll go.
Yeah, what I thought of this piece, I don't know. It's just, one of those, I see the word phoenix, and then I hear love. It just makes me want to kind of set myself on fire when it comes to passion.
I hear you, dude.
I don't think he was going to. No, maybe he was. That's funny. Did you want to post yours now, Peacock, please? And if you want to give a comment to Rack, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm reading this Phoenix. I'm glad you posted it so I can read it better. And I love all the poetic skill used in it, like infinitely enriching my life. I mean, that's just delicious to say, infinitely enriching my life. It's so beautiful, inescapably entwined, leaving lives. So this is very, very well written, in addition to the topic discussed and how very beautifully in love you are. I love that.
Thank you.
All right,
so
Peacock.
I'm trying to decide between Liberty and Malcolm X's Wings. I think I'm going to go with Liberty. Well, does it have to be a short piece? Let me just ask that.
Oh, no, it can be any piece you want. Open poetry.
So I'll put a different one than what I had originally posted. Here we go. This one is called Liberty. Final draft, because it is still a draft, so I'm accepting all kinds of heavy critiques. Heavy criticism, brutal honesty is welcome and encouraged. Okay. This one is called Liberty, and of course the title is also part of what's accepting suggestions. Liberty by Peacock Secrets Poetry. Quote, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, end quote. Liberty may be female, but she is no lady. Good old Liberty is simply a flim green false idol ensconced near Ellis Island. How did this villainous, shape-shifting, lecherous wench get the job of watching over us civilians? She's doing a piss-poor job, or is she just watching civilians? It began back in the day. 18 was the century, 70s was the decade, when French abolitionist Le Boulay searched for a symbol to stand for equality, humanity, and ending slavery. Meanwhile, across a few seas, a francophone sculptor who believed in equality had finished designing his masterpiece. His name was Bartholdi, and he had conceived a farmer woman with copper skin, crowned like a queen, shackles shed beneath her feet, light aloft, she's finally free to live and to lead. But Bartholdi, being a famous international artist, had fashioned her ladyship for Egypt first. She was Muslim, female, black, and African. He asked, could the country's coffers cover his fees? Yes, but in the end, Egypt still didn't take the deal. So Bartholdi's black lady Liberty had to leave her land, drawn or writing on the paper in his hand, back to the Frenchman's homeland. Bartholdi met Le Boulay, and they presented a new statue to the American Abolitionist Society, broken chains of bondage in her hands, which then fell to her feet, representing black people's crucial role in the defeat of the ever-enslaving South in the Civil War. But then they described Lady Liberty to European Americans as a Roman woman. How inspired. After all, had they been honest, we know what would have transpired. So Lady Liberty got a new face made to match the blonde mistress of Manifest Destiny instead of African and black. Until today, your kids' history books obscure those facts. Mama Liberty had to leave her religion, people, scarves, and sleeves. And now you see her history is a lot like the ancestry of you and me. Lady Liberty has never been lacking in melanin, but now stacks of green can clearly be seen smothering her, trying to hide her skin. A cruel trick played by the men of our great nation who gave our gorgeous French gift full gross negligence, sat her in the sea, watched while nature's chemistry covered the queen's glorious copper skin in a patina of gangrene, soaked her mind in sea brine, washed her brain, locked Lady Liberty in chains. They kept the only key. Why can't they at least wash her face, hands, and feet? They are so afraid of what we would see. The neglect reminds me how they really feel about me. Now look at her, a green goblin the whole world can see, her hollow hull for what is within, empty promises, as impoverished as many discarded French colonies long ago raped of their resources and riches. Hidden skin as thin as 2 pennies, she no longer dislikes the mold spores, ever basting and debasing her mind and moors, deep in obscene hordes of green. She's too cheap to keep the peace. She keeps her 2 crusty cents to herself. So I'll say what has surely been said before. American Lady Liberty is naught but a thought who's got a lot of rot in her core. She secretly and surreptitiously sends waves of torch signals to her far-off friend, that bitch blind Justice, who's been calmly and complicitly watching all of this from the beginning. And that's the Peacock's piece.
Yes, there's plenty to say there. And, well, this is definitely a complex piece when you look at Lady Liberty. There are so many different forms of freedom which can be found in the United States of America, yet there is a certain part of the population which feels repressed, and you bring it out to the open why that's necessarily true. On the one hand, you have the realities of the situation that we all have our rights kept, and yet on the left, there's the fact that it doesn't mean every opportunity which you would want fulfilled can't somehow be prevented from coming into fruition, and that does kind of judge certain individuals' sense of their own personal political freedom. Thank you for this piece, Peacock. Adam, what do you say to this?
I think this is a well-written, well-thought-out piece of history with beautiful and sad and tragic history and ideas throughout, which is relevant now as it always has been. Well done. Great word choices, great rhymes and inner rhymes. It's interesting how perspective and time can change all things. Morality is fluid. Ethics are fluid. These things change over time. What is okay now may not be okay tomorrow. What is okay 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, however far ago we go, in another land even, will not be maybe the same the next day. And that's just the way humans are. It's an ever-evolving give and take between us all. Sadly, so much history is washed away or hidden even, or subverted or mangled. And I would say all people's histories, all around the world. So much has been forgotten, more forgotten than ever known. And there's a lot of purposely done things to history, I say, she brings to light here. And it's a beautiful piece and scathing report on it. It's great. I love it in all aspects of it throughout. And truth isn't always divine, but divine is always truth.
Yes, and it's truly divine to try and revelate the truth. I would agree with you there, Adam. Rack, what's your say on Peacock?
It's a wonderfully done piece. There's a lot of sadness to it. If you think about, learning one way and the reality of what was behind it, how things might have been different. It's a very sobering thought, and it's a shame that that's the way things are, because, she's right. Things would have been different if you learned it a different way, and you can't imagine it because, the reality of the way things unfold, one thing, the ripple effect to try and figure out what would have happened is, impossible. We just have to settle on the fact that, it was wrong and deal with that. And even trying to swallow that is hard to deal with. So, and then throwing in the idea too of, the changing of the skin, pointing that metaphor out was really, hammered home your point about that too. That there's a sense of pride in who you are in that, I think, and, it's something that's, I won't say it's encouraged. So, it's a lovely position to take because, it emphasizes the words again. And, the fact that you've got the truth behind it really brings it home. So it was lovely and powerful, but sad. I like what you did with it.
Yeah, it definitely had many different aspects on that thought of liberty. And Francine, what would you like to say about this piece?
I liked it a lot. I thought that it gave a lot of information that I didn't know about. I didn't realize that when she went back to France, they changed the face and all that. That's important to know. So it's good that you can find these things out through a poem. And it's written beautifully. The imagery is gorgeous. It's very much factual, and it is very sad. It's kind of what happens. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
Fabulous.
Thank you all so much.
Zappa, you're our final say for the night, and Boo. And then we're going to close curtains here.
If anybody were to ask me, Sean, who are you? I'm a United States American.
Who is Sean?
I don't care what color
Who is
you are.
Sean Price?
I stand by that, man. I love y'all. Y'all are family. Plain and simple.
Yes.
We are family.
I'm serious now. Come on now.
I gotta have my sister with me.
Sorry.
Ooh. Oh, hold on a second. I think she dropped again.
I don't know.
Y'all, I'm serious about this, though. I mean, I live in an area right now, so it's just, it's hard to explain. It's like coming back to the death rattle in the middle, so to speak, from when I was a kid. But it doesn't matter about color at all. It does and it doesn't, you know what I mean? I mean, it means
all
everything.
right. Yeah, Boo's gone.
Anyway.
And so we're going to have to retire the show now. Yeah, sorry, guys.
I'm going to go.
It's been a great
night.
evening. I thank you all, LCN, for being here tonight. I want to thank Dave Prophet, U Zappa, Life-Saving Oxygen Tanks, Miss Little Boo, Liquid Damage, Anti-Brainwashing Campaigns, Adam Rorschach,
Halloween Trick-or-Treaters from 87 and 92, Raconteur, Francine, Garden Delight, Flesh Boxers, Pardon Me My Shorts, Blood of the Cabra, Budo, and Peacock Society. Thank you all coming to tonight's show for Public Poetry.
Razz. Thank you.
Good to have you all here.
Thank you for being here.
Pick up the phone.
Fearing the Peacock Secrets is a brown unicorn, mermaid, butterfly queen.
Right on.
Yes, we're going to have to put that flag back up. Good night, all.